Hello, I'm Jerry and I'm chairman of Croydon Residents' campaign for a democratically elected mayor to take charge of our town. Please spare me a few minutes to explain why we want an elected mayor replacing the current role as leader of the council. 15,000 Croydon residents, 7 residents' associations, as well as Croydon South Labour Party and the Conservative Party are supporting our campaign, and we want to improve local democracy and make sure that residents' interests are at the forefront of the council's policy making and decision making processes, and that the council is accountable directly to residents. And as well as that, we want to give our rapidly growing town a figurehead that has a direct mandate from the people, a mayor that can stand up for Croydon, lead our town in a way that has the general consent and support of residents, just as Andy Burnham is doing in Manchester, for example. Already Bedford and Bristol and Doncaster, Leicester, Liverpool, Middlesbrough have elected mayors, as have Hackney and Lewisham and Newham, and Tower Hamlets and Watford have elected mayors, and we say so should Croydon. We've been out campaigning for a few months now, and despite the lockdown, we are still hoping that residents will sign our petition and support us. So please do so if you, having heard what I have to say, agree that an elected mayor would be a good thing for Croydon. People often raise issues with us when we're campaigning. For example, Brick by Brick, Westfield, the demolition of family housing in Croydon on a massive scale, the cost of refurbishing Fairfield Halls, Addington Leisure Centre, the development on Greenbelt, the decline of Croydon High Street, and the general feeling that on the big issues of the day, the council doesn't listen and isn't really interested in taking account of residents' concerns. Running a large local authority is a complex and challenging business, and difficult decisions have to be made. We think it would be best for them to be made by a mayor directly elected by the residents and directly accountable to residents for the actions taken, working in conjunction with the elected councillors. We think residents must be listened to, and that the town must be run with their consent and support, and that an elected mayor is the best way to do that. This is not about individuals or specific policies of the day. It is about having a better system of governance in our town into the future. And if we succeed in securing the necessary signatures on our petition, then there will be a local referendum here in Croydon, and you, the people, can decide. This should take place in May 2021, and if a yes vote, then the election for the mayor would probably take place in May 2022. So as I say, this is not about today, it is about Croydon's future. No system is perfect, but we believe that the current system is not working for the people of Croydon, and I will spend a couple of minutes saying why. Currently, we elect councillors to represent each ward, and a ward is defined as being a specific part of the town. For example, Woodside or Broad Green, Wadden, New Addington, Shirley, and so on. And the number of votes as voters living in each ward decide how many councillors there are for that ward, usually 2 or 3. This process will continue without change under our new proposals, but what will change is the way that the person in overall charge of our town is chosen. The leader will be replaced by an elected mayor. Did you know that 24 of the 28 electoral wards in Croydon have such large majorities for either the Conservative Party or the Labour Party that there is really no realistic prospect that they will change hands in a local election? There are only 4 wards with smaller majorities where there is a chance that there could be a change at a local election. So in reality, it is the decision of the voters in just those 4 marginal wards out of the 28 wards that decide who is going to run our town. From that stems the serious problem, the feeling and indeed the reality that the council doesn't listen and doesn't need to listen to the views of most of us, because our votes make no difference to the outcome of a local election. I mean, do you feel that the council listens to you if you raise a concern? Currently, the councillors of the party with the largest number of councillors make the decision as to who is the leader of the council, who then has executive authority to run our town. So strangely, it is a small group of councillors who decide who runs our town, and it is a small proportion of the voters in Croydon, in just those 4 marginal wards, who decide from which party those councillors who make that crucial decision actually come from. Not very democratic, is it? On top of that, there is another problem in our town. The town is split down the middle. The north votes Labour, the south votes Conservative. Whichever party wins, at least half the borough feels that they will be ignored and that their opinions really don't get taken into account and their views don't matter. Surely it would be better to have a democratically elected mayor that we've all voted for and that is running the town for the benefit of all of us. The voting system for a mayor is very different. First of all, every vote counts equally towards the final decision of who is to be the elected mayor. Every vote matters to the candidates, and voters in the marginal wards are not making the decision. We all are. Secondly, mayors are elected using what is called a supplementary voting system, and voters make a first and a second choice when they go to the polling booth. And if no candidate gets more than 50% of the vote, then only the top 2 candidates go through to the second round. Everyone else is eliminated. And if your first choice candidate has been eliminated, but your second choice candidate is one of the top 2, then your second choice is counted. So every vote really does matter to the candidates. And indeed, it may well be that the second choice votes are absolutely crucial to the final decision as to who has been elected as mayor. Elected mayor will not be elected unless they have the confidence of and have been chosen by the majority of voters. Under the current system, the majority of voters have no way at all of getting rid of a very unpopular leader. The only way they can be removed is either A, if the councillors from their own party decide to vote them out, which is pretty unlikely, or secondly, if in a local election, voters in just those 4 marginal wards decide to change the way they vote. The rest of us have no way of removing a very unpopular leader. Not very democratic, is it? An elected mayor can be thrown out by the people if, after 4 years, they are not satisfied with their performance. An elected mayor is directly accountable to the voters of Croydon. Another major benefit of the proposed system is that the mayor is not beholden to or kept in office by the councillors. He or she is independent, elected by the people. The councillors also are not appointed by the mayor. They too are elected by the people in their wards. There is therefore the prospect of serious and effective challenge and scrutiny of policy and decisions. That is very healthy in all organisations and would be very healthy in our council. The campaign committee of 10 is made up of some Labour Party activists, a Brexit activist, Residents' Association representatives, and residents from both the centre of the borough and the south of the borough. We would like to have representation from the north of the borough, and if you are interested in supporting us and helping us, please come forward. Please support our campaign. We are very happy to answer your questions. You can email me at chair@democ.org.uk, that is chair@democ.org.uk. We will be happy to reply to your email, or if you prefer, email your name and telephone number. We're happy to call you and talk to you about the campaign. Thank you very much for listening.